Boo! Did I scare you? I hope I did. Hey, hi, I'm Envy, and today we are here for another episode of Halloween. And with great sadness in my heart, I inform you that is the last one of the first season. Since October 31st is almost here, and this video is super late. So yeah, unfortunately this will be the last one Halloween for this year, but next year there will be more, right? And yeah, even if it's the last Halloween video, there will be a little bonus, kind of honorable mention in the next video, because I already had everything planned after all. Anyway, this video is kinda painful to make because it's about a game I actually like, and seeing it appear on Halloween is really disappointing. And if you don't know what Halloween is, it's super easy to explain. Basically, I make a review of a horror game that says, meaning our game that I thought was bad. And yeah, today's video will be reviewing Little Nightmares, a franchise that's honestly really good, except for the third one. Created by indie studio Darcier Studios back in 2017. I still remember watching ton of videos back then, from Markiplier, Jacksepticeye High to theory videos about the story. Holy shit, that was like 8 years ago. Fuck, such good memories. Definitely the golden era. So, what was the first game? Well, I didn't actually play it, don't judge me. I already spent like a whole week trying to play Little Nightmares 3. Did you really want me to go a whole month without posting videos? Whatever, I watched some gameplays and honestly it still holds up really well even today. The graphics ages like fine wine, probably thanks to that unique art style. The gameplay, even with simple elements, since you can only run, crouch, jump, grab and light the lighter, perfectly nails the simplicity. The monsters are special, each one with a totally different design. For example, the janitor with his long arms, the twin chefs, who I don't even know how to explain why they are so good, and the lady because of her association with 6. The game isn't really about horror, it's more of a psychological horror with a little bit of gore mixed in. The puzzles are one of the best game charms. They are actually challenging and rewarding when you solve them. In my opinion, this game was way ahead of its time for many reasons, so my rating is 8 out of 10. And by the way, I'm not even counting the story here, because that's a masterpiece of its own, not the focus of this video. But if you want me to talk about it sometime, just let me know. as with any game that becomes a huge success, of course it got a sequel, and thank God it did. People say Shrek 2 is the perfect cinematic sequel. It takes everything good from the first movie, makes it even better. So, I guess Little Nightmares 2 is basically the Shrek 2 of video games. He took everything the first did right and made it even better, adding more on top. And yeah, this time I actually played it like 3 or 4 years ago, and I still remember it, actually. Now, instead of one character, we've got two, and they interact incredibly well with each other. There's even a deeper psychological horror, and the enemies are absolute classics. The Hunter was a perfect introduction to this dangerous world, kind of like a tutorial. The Teacher and the Tin Man. Oh boy, I can't even describe how much aura this guy has. If the puzzles in the first game were hard, in this one they are even worse, but in the good way. You feel like a damn genius when you solve them. It's like a brain orgasm. Even though I've said less about this one, the quality jump is massive, and I can't give it less than a 9.5 out of 10. But now the review begins. Now the piece of shit is in the room. Little fucking Nightmares 3. Game already starts off badly by letting us choose a character, which wasn't a thing in the previous game. I don't know, it's something that breaks my immersion. It might sound cool on paper, but giving the player freedom to be who they want kinda kills the purpose of the journey, since it could have been anyone doing it. Anyway, Lou, the boy, wakes up suddenly and then alone shows up to check if he's okay, and that's how our journey starts. After an obvious tutorial, you reach this desert, and oh my god, it's incredibly beautiful. I swear, one of the few things you can't complain about here are the visuals. Even though it keeps some of previous games' essence, it looks so much better, but it does give that feeling of unknown, of fear, of uncertainty like before. It's too alive, even though there's no one there, except that one bird.
Relu, ce-i tată? Ce-i? Hai, pune-te aici sus. Hai aici pe mână.
In this game, each character has their own unique weapon. Alone has a wrench, which you can break weak walls, press certain buttons, and spin some machines. And Low has a bow that, well, shoot arrows, and also shoot arrows. Yep, nothing groundbreaking. After a few rooms, we find the umbrella that lets us glide with air vents and avoid fall damage. Honestly, it's a cool concept, but it gets discarded soon, so I don't even know why they bother adding it. Then, after clearing an infestation of bugs, we enter what a kind of boss fight. Not really, since you just have to hide, but you get the idea. It's a boss fight against a giant porcelain baby. And seriously, both the designs and the concept, it's so much potential, but it's just bland. You just hide until it gets distracted by bugs, and then poof, you never see it again. That's bullshit. In Little Nightmares 2, for example, the first enemy was amazing. It had different stages, sneaky part, chasey part, and finally shooting the bastard in the face. It had a beginning, middle, and end. This one feels like something missing. I need to chill a bit, really. I'm kinda rage baiting, I guess. I don't know what's happening with me. Then we find a mirror, interact with it, teleports us somewhere else, the candy factory. We walk, climb, go up and down, until we find the supervisor, who honestly feels way too similar to the teacher, except her design is way less interesting and her animations, especially from the waist up, are super stiff and robotic. After a fucking 15-second chase, where it's basically impossible to die unless you are a type of manking plane, we reach a place full insects that will eat you alive if you touch them, so you got to use light to scare them away and move safely. And seriously, I'm halfway through the game and the puzzles are stupidly easy compared to the others. And when I do get stuck, it's not my fault, it's the game's fault for not giving enough direction. Obviously, I'm not asking for a big ass arrow saying this is the right way, but come on, in the first two games, when I got stuck, it was because of my own stupidity. I always knew where I had to go because the design guided me naturally. Anyway, after another chase and stupidity scripted a natural death, kind of like Mummy Long Legs death, we enter another mirror that takes us to the Carnivale. Another issue with this game is the camera. Yeah, a fucking fixed camera is the problem. For example, there's this part where you to make a jump, but the camera angle makes this super awkward and hard to do. If it is in just that section, fine, but it's in the entire game. Fuck, I swear I don't understand what happened with Darcier. They made two masterpieces and then released this bombshell. Huh? What? Darcier didn't make this one. They left the project and Supermassive Games, the people behind the Quarry, took over the franchise. And now Darcier's making a new game called Reanimal, a spiritual successor to Little Nightmares, and it's already way better than this shit. Wherever. And fuck it, I'll just say it. The game was clearly made to be played in co-op, because 50% of the stuff is done by me and the other 50 by the bot. And yeah, I could have played co-op if they had couch co-op or even crossplay, but nope, I had to play solo. They could have at least added a character switching system like in the Lego games. After I stopped giving a fuck about more than half of the chapter, we meet again, an old ass man holding a puppet, probably controlling it. Not sure if that's the truth though, the little that theory out my ass. After another chase, catches. And locks us up, but since he's dumb, Alone and Low manage to escape. And then another chase begins. Oh my fucking god, this shit is a chase simulator. We try to escape in a hot air balloon, but he sends the puppeteer after us. After trying and failing multiple times to burn with fire because the game just wouldn't cooperate, I finally did it on the third try and we flew away. we fly and fly and fly and finally reach our destination, the Institute. To be fair, this chapter has some interesting mechanics, like the flower that kills everything that is in front of her, and alone stall puzzles involving switching between past and the present. The biggest issue here are the lack of contrast between objectives and scenery, and all the enemies look way too similar to Little Nightmares 2, at least visually. But honestly, this chapter might have been the worst one. That's because I spent ages stuck not knowing what to do. Anyway, after a few more rooms, we reach one that's clearly a pre-boss area, which is another issue how predictable the chases and boss fights are in the previous games. These moments could happen anytime, keeping you on edge. Here it's obvious and sloppy. Then comes the boss and oh my fucking god, what a pathetic fight. They could have done so much, but this was one of the worst boss fights I ever seen. Hell, the boss fight in Fear of Clown was better than this shit. Basically, the boss destroys the walls until something drops so you can make noise. That's all. And the worst is you have to repeat that shit 3 fucking times. After killing the guy, Lo goes in another mirror. Alone tries to, but can't, and she just dies or disappear wherever. And that's Little Nightmares 3. To be fair, it's not the worst thing ever. It's just a sad, off-faced attempt to copy its predecessors. There's nothing special here. Bandai's greed is obvious. This game was clearly made for money. I paid fucking 40 heroes for less than 4 hours of gameplay, and they're still planning at least 2 DLCs. The first 2 games also had DLCs, okay, but they are half the price and innovative for their time. This one doesn't bring anything new and somehow manages to do everything worse. It's really sad to see how such an acclaimed franchise has become, and maybe this is the end of Little Nightmares. But the beginning of Reanimal. I really hope you enjoyed the video and this last episode of Halloween. I hope you have a great day and I see you in the next one. And a kiss.